welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Adriana and I'm a mommy who loves to read. So I have been having some slower months the previous months past, before November. I don't know why I can't talk, but like April, May, June, July, August, September, October, all of those months this year were so hard to read after, if you're new here, you do not know, after we lost my mother-in-law. But this past month, I have started going to therapy, kind of being more open and accepting to the fact that I was grieving. And it really did help me to start moving back into the passion of reading, not just to read to create content or kind of reading and just skating by the books, or just not reading at all, like going long periods of time without reading. And so in November, I really feel like I had a good reading month. I picked up a lot of books that I knew I was going to love, and I had a great experience reading like I used to in the month of November. So I'm really excited to share with you guys what I read. And if you guys are following me on Goodreads, you would have already seen a lot of the books that I read. And if you're following me on social media, I usually post kind of what I'm reading over the weekend and sharing my stories and things like that. So make sure that if you're not following me over on Instagram or TikTok or Goodreads, that you guys go down in the description below and follow me over there. So let's go ahead and jump into some of the amazing books that I read. So the first book that I read was actually on audiobook, and that was Capone 3. I finally got to finish his saga and I ate it up. Now, my husband actually listened to it before me and he was like, Anna, baby, this is going to be good. Just read it. And it was everything that I needed. It wrapped up every single plot line. I mean, it was literally dropping bodies second after second after second, and it kept me so engaged. I could not stop listening. Loved it, and I cannot wait to dig into the rest of the stories. Now, after that, I actually finished reading Esperanza Rising with my kids. This is my third time reading Esperanza Rising. This is a book that I read for the first time. I think I was in the 6th grade, y'all. I was in the 6th grade, and it was one of my favorite stories. And it's a story about grief, about family, about finding a new community, starting over, and realizing that it wasn't the end of your life, and there are people who are going to gather around you and love you, and you just have to trust the process to be able to move forward. And it's okay to look back on the people that you have lost and still extend love for what life was once like with them, and to accept what it's like moving forward without them. I just love this story. It's so beautiful. It's so intricate for a children's book. My kids ate this up. They rated it 5 stars. Wait a minute. I just realized I didn't tell you what I rated Capone. I rated Capone book 3 4.5 stars. My kids and I rated this 5 stars. This is a great book to add to your family library. So the next book that I finished was A Digital Arc of And Now Back to You by BK Borison. And let me tell you, this is truly a cute book. I mean, I could not stop reading it. I was just going and going and going. And I was worried because I was actually reading it on my phone that I would be distracted by the fact that all my social medias are on my phone and everything. And I really wasn't. I mean, the story kept my attention. I loved Jackson and his little glasses. Like, I just ate him up. And Delilah was so sweet and she was such a pleasure. And I loved how their opposites came together and like really made a whole. That is like one of my favorite tropes, is opposites attract, because there's always something that the other person needs, and when they come together just as a couple, they're such a great couple. And I loved how they were locked in the snowstorm and just everything that was going on. And let me tell you, the spice scenes were eating. They truly were eating. I have never read some of the little things that happen in another book, and I loved it. And I love how BK Borison's writing, it just like brings you in. It's not like I feel like I don't understand what's going on. I just feel immersed inside of the story. Absolutely loved that story. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Very solid, very cute follow-up to First Time Caller. Now, after that, I read Sweet Heat. You guys already know how I feel about Sweet Heat, and if you don't, I dedicated an entire video to this book. Ate it up. And this is the follow-up to Honey and Spice, and it follows Malachi and Kiki after a breakup, after they have finished college and they're in their adult years and their friends are getting married and they're both in the wedding. Wow. This story also touched on grief, on found family, on just so many intricate friendships and just moving on in life. And sometimes you build something and you have to rebuild something else, and how it feels to see two people go in separate directions and build their lives and what it's like to come back together. Everything about this love story was chef's kiss. And the poetic lyrical writing of Bulu is amazing. I mean, the growth in her writing is crazy. Like, from Honey and Spice to this, it's like a totally different author, but you know it's not, because you can see the pieces of her, but she grew with the characters. Such a great story. This was my favorite book of the month. I gave this a solid 5 out of 5 stars, might even be a 6-star read. Absolutely loved it. Now, next, we did another audiobook, and that was King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby. S.A. Cosby, let me tell you, there has never been one time where he has disappointed me yet. Not once. And King of Ashes lived up to those expectations. Now, I will say, I felt like this book started off a little bit slower than the other books that I've read by him. I will say that it took to probably chapter 6 for me personally to really get into the story. But once we are there, we are there. I mean, you are talking bodies, bodies, bodies. I mean, we are chopping people off the block left and right in true S.A. Cosby fashion. And in this story, we are following 3 siblings whose mother has gone missing. Their father is in a coma, and their brother Roman has to come and kind of set things straight because he doesn't know what's going on. He hasn't been living in the town, and he slowly starts to integrate himself into a criminal organization to help his family. That's about as much as I can tell you without giving the story away. But oh my goodness, I ate it up. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, just like every other S.A. Cosby book. Now, I will say personally, Razor Blade Tears is still my favorite. Like, there's nothing that's gonna top that, but King of Ashes is definitely worth the read, worth the listen, absolutely phenomenal. Now, the last book that I finished is It's Different This Time. I truly enjoyed this book. I mean, look at how beautiful the cover is. It is so cute, by the way. My daughters always say that. I think that this is definitely worth the hype that it has received. Now, I will say that it took me longer to finish this book, not because it was bad, but I also was doing the King of Ashes, and I think I was finishing, I can't remember what was the other reason, but it did take me a little bit longer to finish it. And at first, in the very beginning, I thought it was gonna be a little juvenile, the miscommunication, because miscommunication can be kind of iffy, like, let's be honest about it. But with this one, it was more like a true friends to lovers. Like, there was never a point where there was a relationship in the past, and there were feelings, but they never acted upon those feelings. So the actions truly feel a little juvenile when you first start reading it. But once you make it to that midway point and you really start understanding the dynamics, once we learn Adam's feelings the whole time, all of it makes sense. And their relationship progression and how they take the time, especially June, who's our FMC, The way she takes the time to really make the right decision for her, and not based on the fact like, can I finally have a relationship with Adam? Can I finally, it's such a good way to wrap up those plot lines instead of making it based solely off of, I'm gonna do this, make this decision only because I want to be with him. She made the decisions based on what was right for her, and I absolutely love that. I love that everything played out well for our main characters. A really great story. I did give this one 4 out of 5 stars. So as you guys can see, I have sort of picked up a little bit more on my reading. I've really been working on my mental health, working on spending time with my family, working on falling in love with the creation of content and I'm really enjoying myself. So I mean, I had nothing but 4 and 5 stars. Now I'm not gonna say that's gonna be every single month, but I'm so happy I did. I really am so happy that I did. Now, thank you guys all who have joined in here, whether you're new, whether you're old, you are all my family. I love you guys so much. And before you go, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Until I see you next time, happy reading.